This is a place.
This is the place.
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Thank you for listening to This is a Place podcast. My name is Brandon,
My name is Nate.
and we want to wish everyone a very happy come in from the cold day.
Ain't that the truth?
It is very, very cold here right now.
It's very deceptively cold because you look
Deceptively.
outside and it's like all sunny. So you're like, oh, tank top and sandals weather. And you walk outside and then you can't feel your toes. My hands turn purple really quick.
Yeah, it's so cold that we're having to do the drip your faucets at night thing, just to be safe. It's that kind of cold.
Yeah, freezing.
That was my best compromise because today is also both National Sanctity of Human Life Day and Roe versus Wade Day. So we don't really want to talk about either of those.
Not-
So I settled on
Let's
come out
be,
of the cold.
that's more of a positive spin than
My
those
other
other
option
two
was
options.
National Blonde Brownie Day. Have you ever had a blonde brownie? I love blonde
Yeah.
brownies.
Is that really just a cookie brownie? Is that what it is?
Pretty much. Pretty much. But I love them. I mean, I like brownies, but I prefer blonde
I
brownie.
love brownie. Do you?
Yeah.
I like all desserts.
I am no respecter of desserts. I'll eat them in all their forms.
It's bloody cold outside.
It's cold, warm up, and have yourself a blonde brownie. A warm one is my suggestion.
Well, where do you get a blonde brownie?
I mean, there's
I don't
there's just
feel like
random places you can get them from. My favorite form of the blonde brownie is a cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. They have a salted caramel cheesecake, and I'm not a salted caramel fan. I don't like salted caramel very much. But
oh,
this
really?
one is pretty good. It has a blonde brownie, and it's one of the best cheesecakes. And I'm not a big cheesecake fan either. So if I like the cheesecake, it's really good.
What is your problem?
I just I like stuff the way I do. So I guess I should take back my comment. I said I was not a respecter of desserts, and apparently I do a little bit because I'm not a big cheesecake guy.
Oh, I love desserts. I got a sweet tooth. I think I got it from my grandma, my dad's mom. She's that
Mm,
way too. Like if I learned my lesson early on in life. We may have talked about this before. When you go to a buffet, you got to be careful not to get to the point where you're full with your dinner
mm,
items. You got to make sure that you leave enough to try out the desserts.
yeah, you can't miss out.
Or if you're my son, Bronco, we went to Chuckarama for his birthday back in October, and he comes back to the table after the very first trip, and he comes back with a huge ice cream cone. And he looks at us like we're crazy that we didn't get ice cream first before getting stuff to eat. Like, are you guys crazy? There's an ice cream machine over there. Why did you not?
He's the only
Normally,
sane one.
you tell your kids like, dude, you're gonna be like full on desserts. Bronco, you don't have to worry about. That guy is a empty garbage disposal. When we go to a restaurant, we like if someone's full of their food, we just push the plates down towards Bronco, and then he'll finish it off. That kid can, he can eat. He's a giant. He's a gentle giant.
Gentle giant.
So yeah, he starts off with his dessert first
Good on him.
if
Good
he
for
has the
him.
option. If he has the option. So he might have the sweet tooth I have as well.
I have a bit of a sweet tooth. Well, as we're here in the depressing and cold state of January, thought it was a
With
good
no
time
snow.
with yeah, very little snow.
Interesting.
We did
I mean,
have
it
some
did
snow
because it was
Sunday.
so cold. So it was like Saturday, Sunday, a little bit of snow, but it was so cold that it was just, I guess for skiers, great because it was just powder. but I literally saw my neighbor with his leaf blower blowing off his cars and probably driveway with it because it was like so frozen, the snow. It was easy to move, which is nice. If it's gonna snow, that's the preferred way to do it. But I'm really afraid that we haven't had much snow this winter so far. Knock on wood, I think that's the first time I actually shoveled snow a little bit. And I was like, do I even need to? Because the sun's gonna come out and melt everything anyways. But I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was Saturday afternoon. So I
it
went
was
and just
Saturday.
shoveled the walks. I didn't really do the driveway, just the walks.
Yeah, the
And
neighbor boys came by shoveling, and I thought the same thing. I was like,
oh
I really don't need to go out and shovel. It's gonna melt soon. They wanted to do it, and I was like, I'll pay them. Like, it's fine, even though it's gonna be gone soon
yeah,
anyway.
at least it's better than just donating to some weird cause, right?
Yeah.
Some weird school fundraiser. But my point was, I feel like there's going to be moisture coming. We're going to have some early spring snowstorms, but
Mm.
because the weather's going to warm up, it's going to be that heavy, wet snow. But at the same time, if we can get into like the February months before or February weeks in February, a few weeks into February, then it will be warmer, which means that even if you don't shovel your walks, the sun will probably melt it in a few days anyways.
I do have a
December,
warning.
January, usually the months before they find you. Is
Well,
that what you're
my
saying?
warning is if we do get a lot of snow, or if there's any snow for that matter, and you happen to be in Provo, do not throw a snowball, as it will result in a $50 fine.
Yes, because throwing snowballs is illegal in Provo
Yes.
because it's either that and or other missile-like objects.
Which you think is a no-brainer for being illegal, but we have to have it spelled out in Utah. So Nate had the idea that we should talk about because every state has them. Every state has those
Well, right.
weird laws.
Well, here's the reasoning why.
Yeah, why were you doing this on a
Trump's back, dude. Trump's back.
I thought we were getting political.
Yeah, we're not getting political, but Trump's back.
Like it or not.
Guess who's back? Trump is back. Biden's gone, Trump's back. So there's a lot of pardons that happened when Biden left, and
Mm.
now Trump's going to do a lot of executive orders. So a lot of things are going to be changing, a lot of laws, and I just popped in my head like, what are some crazy laws that Utah has still on the books? So that was the background to how we got to this point. So we've
And
done the internet searches, right? And the
does it
internet
really
never
matter?
lies.
But here's the thing. Like, is someone in
Does
Provo
it
gonna
really matter
actually
what?
get fined for throwing a snowball?
Well, no. It says this ordinance exists to prevent potential injuries, but it's rarely enforced.
Okay, so
So you could, but I think it becomes like the snowball effect. That
he's
if
on it
you do it
today.
for one, if you do it for one person, then you have to, you know what I mean? Then
Yeah.
how do you say you're not
You
picking
set a
on me or
precedent.
right? So it's on the books. So
It's
you
on the
can threat. I'm
books.
thinking it's more of a threat. And I would guess, I don't know, that'd be interesting. If has anybody ever been cited? And one of our three Provo listeners, have you ever been cited before or heard a story of somebody being cited for throwing a snowball? I would guess that maybe somebody's had a warning, the cops given a
Mm.
warning more than they have probably citation for it. But fun law. Why is it just Provo?
There's a
That's
lot
what
of we
Utah County does. Utah
It's just what they
County,
do. They suck the
yeah,
fun out.
yes.
Well, if you're in Salt Lake, throw as many snowballs as you want. But we both have come up with, as you said, an internet search of silly or strange laws. And don't take any of this for fact because some of these may be made up. some of these may not be laws on the books anymore.
No.
So
Yeah.
don't
Fact. Well, don't do it. Fact check us.
fact check us.
Spend some
Do it.
time in your life to sit down and fact check us.
Because we're not going to
And
fact
if
check
you
ourselves. We're going to read the list.
and if, well, I want to know too. Again, number one, if you've ever been cited for throwing a snowball, and two, if during after you listen to this episode, you gotta get to wait to the end, all the way to the end. Let us know if you know of any other crazy, strange laws. I think they're fun. They're good conversational pieces.
Yeah. One
And
time
then
I
you can
got
point at
sued
somebody
for doing this. Let us
like
know.
going back to my son Bronco, he's all about rules, following rules. So I'm going to tell him about all these laws so he can start tell, 'cause he'll tell people when they're doing something wrong that is against the rules. So I'm going to let him know about all these strange laws. And when he sees somebody doing them, he can call them out on it. So I think what we should do for this episode is I'll say a crazy law that I had found, and then you fire back another one that you found
We're not going to
after
discuss
we
them. We're just going to go back and forth.
discuss, of course, after we
All right, all right,
discuss.
all right. Let's do it. All
So
right.
we'll take turns. Basically,
I
we
did
take
the
turns.
snowball. You go first.
You
Or
did the
what's the second
snowball.
one?
You took the best one. Actually, I don't think you took the best one,
No,
but
that's not the best one.
no. Who's gonna get the best one? I'll leave it for you, since it seems to be more appropriate for you. I'm just kidding. I don't even know which one we're talking
I don't either.
about.
I'm like looking through the list. What is he referencing?
But did you know that it's illegal to hunt whales in Utah?
I did know that, actually. What?
I
Where's that? Where did the precedents come for that one? We
don't
don't
know.
have whales. We just have a big salty lake. No whales are living in there. Or maybe there was like, there's been legends that there's a whale there, right? So somebody put that on the law, put that law out there because if there is a whale, they don't want it to be hunted.
Or does this mean that if you're a resident of Utah, can you go whale hunting in the ocean?
Oh, I don't think they can enforce that
It just says in Utah. So
in
I think
Utah.
you have to be whale hunting. Or, I mean, do we even have
Is it? And it's WHALE, not WE. Wait, how do you spell a well of
W-E-L-L?
water?
Well water?
WEL.
W-E-L-L. Is it the
Okay.
same as a well?
Is it the same? The same spelling?
I think so. I don't know. You
But it's
talk me through
literally
that.
the big ocean mammal. No hunting
It's
of
the
the
big
ocean
guy.
mammal.
But I'm trying to think. I don't think we even have uh, a whale at a zoo or anything here in Utah that you could
No whales at the
try to
aquarium.
hunt. We do have the whale on
Mmm.
Ninth and
Ninth
Ninth.
and
Is that
ninth.
where it's at?
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I guess maybe they don't want you to
Do
hunt
not
that one.
hunt that well. Even more so now because people have looked to that well as a spiritual figure. So if you went to go hunt that well, there would be hell to pay for hunting the whale.
Oh well.
That's a good one. Did you know that birds have the right of way on all highways in Utah?
I did not know that. It makes sense, but are they talking about any bird?
It just
I
says
think so.
birds, ducks.
I think yeah, ducks and geese and stuff like that. I think that's what they're trying to target.
If
How do you
you
say that?
were at a stops, well, not a stop, but just driving, and a family of ducks came walking along, are you not going to let them pass? You're going to say, you know what, ducks? My day is more important.
Right? Yeah, of
That's
course.
a good law.
So
It's a good law to have.
it's a good law. But have you, outside of the ducks and the geese, just the neighborhood flying birds,
Mm.
have you ever like pigeons and robins and what have you? You ever notice like when you're driving down the street and you feel like you're gonna hit one and they never hit your car?
It's crazy. Well, I
Yeah,
slow
I
down
have
for
two
them, so I
birds.
am obeying the law.
I've broken the law then. Well, how do you do this? I'm driving, actually, I was in Jackson Hole, so it's not even in Utah. Just driving down the canyon, and one of those birds that you're like, holy cow, I actually hit a bird. Yeah. And then I hit another one coming down Little Cottonwood Canyon once, which was crazy because I literally had this conversation, I believe, with somebody about how it's weird that you could never, the birds just seem to get out of the way at the last minute.
Does Little
And
Cottonwood
then a
Canyon
week
count as a
later,
highway though? So I think you're okay.
that's true. But just, yeah. But I've never hit a duck. I've never hit a goose. I've hit a deer before. Is that on the books?
Uh, no, that's just gonna happen here.
Yeah. Those things will mess you up. Mess your
Yes.
car right up. So, is it my turn?
Your turn.
Okay. This one, it's very important that marrying your cousin is restricted. In Utah, first cousins can legally marry only if they are 65 years old or older, or if they're 55 and can and prove they are unable to reproduce.
Can you imagine going to a judge? I had a vasectomy. Can I please marry my cousin
So, give them the proof.
at age
So what is
55?
it? Is it like
That's a that's a pioneer thing,
when,
man. That's polygamy right
right?
there.
So first cousin. So that means it's legal to marry your second cousin?
Yeah, I
Is
think
that what
so.
it's saying?
I think so.
But at what point do they say like you're pretty safe
I think
and
third,
it's
right?
more the third or fourth cousin? I think it's
Yeah.
third. Because if you have that app, I feel like you're related to everybody.
Yes. Especially here in Utah.
I know. And then with my joke always was when I was dating that because my grandpa had on my mom's side, I believe 6 kids, maybe 7, before he had his wife passed away, and then he married my grandma and then had 2 more kids.
Hmm.
But they were already pretty much grown up besides the youngest one. So when you do that whole multi-level thing, right? They have 2 kids, whatever. So I'm related to a lot of people, it feels like, in Utah. So I had to be very careful when I dated to make sure I wasn't dating a relative.
You decided to date a man instead.
So I married a man instead.
I like this one. And this is one I hear about all the time because it's so strange. It is illegal to fish from horseback. You heard that one?
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
And is it more, I think it's more or less for the safety of the horse
Mm,
and maybe the person, but number one, we pay to go horseback riding, right? There's not many people who have horses that just go riding horses all over town. So usually when you're going horseback riding, you're paying for it. So are you going to spend your money to grab a horse and then run over to the nearest stream and start fishing?
we should. You know what we should do? We should go and break all these laws one day.
See if we can get caught.
Yeah. See
See
if we'll
what the
get
fines are.
processed. Just, find out. Just see what
Just to see what the
happens.
process is like. See if we can make the news.
I don't think would you get arrested or in trouble for really fishing from horseback? I don't see that happening. It's on the books, but would it really go down? I don't know. Guess we'll find out soon enough.
This one's been changed though. That until recently, Utah law required restaurants to prepare alcoholic drinks behind a partition,
Mm,
often referred to as a Zion
Zion
curtain,
curtain.
so they couldn't be seen by patrons. It was revised in 2017. Don't have to do that anymore.
So that's not a
I
rule
never really
anymore.
paid attention or noticed that, so I didn't know that
You,
was a
you
thing.
didn't notice it because we were safe. We were shielded from it.
Well, right, but I still feel like maybe it wasn't really enforced because I feel like Applebee's always had their bar area and they made drinks there.
Isn't that because it's the way it's class? Isn't it like classified if it's a restaurant or if it's like a bar or something? I
I
don't know.
guess you're right. I guess you know what, you're probably right. Yeah, 'cause that one it's called like a sports bar, right?
Yeah.
So if you call it a bar, then it's okay, but a restaurant, Yeah, that makes
Are you
sense.
also supposed to like every restaurant or every bar has to offer some kind of food? They can't be just a flat out bar. They need to offer some sort of sustenance of some type.
Maybe.
Maybe that's another
I don't
state
know.
or something, but again, we don't drink, so we don't really know. We just hear.
No, no. I did have my alcohol license when I was like 21, 22, when I was a server.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't know anything about alcohol. And I think I've told you this before, where I would write down on my little pad whatever they said the name of the drink was. And I'd write it down as close as I thought they were saying it. And I go to the bartender. And then every once in a while, he didn't do it all the time, but every once in a while, he'd look at me and go, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'd be like, oh, crap. And I had to go back to the table and ask them for clarification. They'd be like, dude, I'm just joking with you. I know exactly what it is. So
That's awesome.
I remember, I remember pouring my first beer in like the pint glass. You ever poured a beer before?
Mm-mm.
See, there you go. Apparently, you're supposed to tilt the glass.
I do know
If you
that.
don't, yeah, if you don't, you get like a quarter of beer and the rest is just a big thing of foam.
Yikes.
So you tilt the glass. I learned that. So I learned how to pour beers. I learned that some people think that Heineken shouldn't come with a lemon because it's not lemonade, but a lot of people need a lemon with it.
Hmm.
But yeah,
The more you know.
this is yeah, the more you know. Next,
The husband is responsible for every criminal act committed by his wife while she is in his presence.
what?
Right?
Where did you find that one?
It's just on this list. I mean, this list is from 2011, but isn't that kind of crazy? Like a little, I mean, that's definitely from the old in Utah times,
Old,
right?
yeah, like beginning of Utah times, right?
Yeah, right. Like
Wow.
that's that's an interesting one. Yeah. Again, don't know if it's enforced. I feel like that would have come up by now if it was still a thing, right? I mean, because wives commit, you know.
Crimes all
Well,
the
let's
time.
see. If you see someone committing a crime, you're like an accomplice anyway, right? It doesn't need to be specific to if you're like a spouse.
Right. Well, who's the person most likely to murder you?
Yeah,
Your spouse.
right. So
So,
if you see your wife murder you, you're also
so
responsible for
you're
that
on,
criminal
yeah,
act.
you're, sorry. This is going, is that suicide at that point? Because,
Yes,
sorry, you should probably cut
you're
that out.
right.
But yeah, your wife murders you. You're on the hook for it.
Be careful with what you
You're on the hook
be
from it from your
careful with what
horseback.
you want let your wife do in your presence.
Yeah, yeah. You you bring that up to your wife tonight. Let me know how it goes.
Yes, agreed. Next.
Next, going back to the marriages,
All right.
Utah explicitly prohibits humans from marrying animals.
Explicitly.
Isn't that a national law? Is that like,
Isn't
well,
that like a
so here's
Moses
the
law?
deal. Here's the deal. Here's my question, Brandon. For example, 30, probably 40 years ago, the real estate purchase contract, like the standard one that they use in Utah,
Mm-hmm.
was maybe one page. It's now up to like 8 pages long, if I remember seven or eight, depends on how much. Anyways, because anytime something happens, they have to change to clarify, right? So that's why the contracts get bigger and bigger because something happened, somebody got sued, and they need to put that into a contract. So to have this law that no animal marriages with humans, does that mean this was going on? Like you didn't just think this was common sense? Like somebody was trying to marry an animal, so like we need to make a law about this
Maybe it was the same guy trying to fish from that horseback.
from this horseback
It
and
was
marry his
his,
first cousin?
and he was committing a crime because that was his wife.
Oh, weird.
Weird.
I'm glad that's on the books because who knows how many people be married to animals.
That's a weird one. Um, I did not know Utah is so in love with milk. I've got two examples of this. One says it is legal not to drink milk. The second one says, as far as the interpretation of the criminal code goes, Utah says it's illegal for milk consumers to unfairly discriminate against milk distributors and criticize the grade or quality. So you better not be too selective about milk while in Utah.
So you can't bash another dairy farm.
I guess not. Again, goes back to your comment. Somebody did it, so it became a law. Someone was discriminating against Winder Dairy, and they did not like take too kindly to that.
Outside of Winter Dairy, because I get that they had their own farm and they distributed their own product. But a lot of places that have like you go to the store to buy milk and there's like 3 or 4 different labels. My understanding is the dairy farm, they start making the milk, they start pouring the gallons, and like half of them get one sticker, half of them get the other sticker. So it's all from the
Mm,
same batch. It's
really?
just the sticker's really what you're paying for,
So what about
is what I've heard.
gold medal? Is that a Utah milk? That's one of
I
them,
don't
right?
know. A metal gold?
Metal gold. That's what it is.
Yeah. But like for example, you go to Smith's, they got Kroger, right? Do they have Kroger? They have something, Mount Dairy, something like that. Then they have Smith's milk. Then they have Meadow Gold.
Yeah, metal
And I
gold is
think
in
they also
Utah.
have, and then they have also, I think it's more, someone must have bought the name. Don't they have what's their names that we were just talking about?
Winder Dairy.
The farm, Winter Dairy. I think Winter Dairy's still in there.
Those are the only two I know. Winder Dairy and metal gold. Or then you also have your, like you said, your store brand.
Yeah. The only time I can tell a difference in the milk, like the taste in the milk, is when it's chocolate milk, because obviously it depends on where it came from and how much, what type, however they made it.
So what you're
True
saying
Moo is
is
another one.
you, which one? Trumu? Yeah, that one seems like a
True,
national brand. Maybe it's not though. Trumu.
but I bet you they might be national, but they probably have somebody here locally who makes it
Oh
and they throw
yeah.
the sticker on for them.
Yeah, you need time to to
Yeah,
transport
you're
that.
not.
It's not
Yeah,
going to go very well.
right.
Yeah, Trumu must be national. Dairy Farmers of America. Yeah, you're probably right. So yeah, be careful in Utah with your milk consumption and discrimination, but also drink your milk. That's important.
Okay, this one I wonder if it's true or not, but we're gonna say it anyways. It's illegal to look unkept in public. In certain parts of Utah, including Salt Lake City, it's technically illegal to be unkept or look disheveled. Is that how you say it? In
Disheveled.
public? Disheveled. Yeah. Let's see the S. Time to brush your hair before heading out. Wow.
Man,
That must have been like an early pioneer law. Like you
they
can't
are
go
not
out
enforcing
without
that. Oh yeah, that's a church one right there.
probably
Like,
church influenced
oh
law.
yeah, it's got to be.
Can't have you walking out in public without
How
combing
dare
your
you not
hair.
take a bath every day?
There you go.
That's interesting. This one's strange to me. In Utah, it is illegal to cause a catastrophe. According to
I
Utah
saw that
Criminal
one too.
Code, causing a catastrophe is a criminal offense and is defined as causing widespread injury or damage through certain actions. This can include use of weapons of mass destruction, explosive devices, or other hazardous material, as well as intentional acts such as starting a fire or flood. Why do we need a specific law to say not to cause a catastrophe? That's a law
Because
everywhere.
huh? It's yeah, I don't know.
Does that one tie to the missiles that you can't hurl at a bus or bus terminal unless you're a peace officer or security personnel?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's another one. So I can see those two being intertwined. Like if you hurl a missile at a bus terminal, that's going to be a catastrophe.
True. Where the heck are you getting a missile from?
I don't know, but
And
that's the
how do you
law.
hurl one?
I don't know. Utah
Well, it's a good thing.
laws.
I guess if it wasn't law you and you caused one, then you say, "Hey, I didn't know it was illegal for me to start a flood or
Fire.
create an avalanche."
We're just the wet bandits. We just start floods. We can't help it.
Yeah, yeah. Or what did you say? I didn't know I could hurl a missile at a
Bus
bus
terminal.
terminal.
Also,
You did.
bus
You did. My
bus
my parents
terminals.
didn't teach me that.
You can't plead the fifth in these cases. Sorry.
No. Speaking of pleading the fifth, when you go to the court, you have to swear in.
Is that a law?
There's no swearing in public.
Oh,
No
no
swearing in
swearing in
public.
public.
Yes,
Oh,
in Logan, it's
beep.
technically illegal to swear in front of women and children. So better watch your language.
If we swear in this episode and it goes to someone in Logan, a woman or child,
Ooh,
are we able to be prosecuted?
because we're not in front of them.
That's true. Do not swear
So
in
be
front of.
careful. But be careful. You better tell your brother.
He doesn't live there anymore, but he used to play hockey there, and I'm sure when he was playing hockey, he was hurling not missiles, but he was hurling expletives.
How how fun would that be to go to Logan and then hear somebody swearing and then chase down an officer and then tell them to go arrest them?
Yeah, I'm telling you, we should go break all these laws one day.
Or we just do it. Just drive through Logan's and you roll down the window and start cussing and then drive off.
Just see what happens. Maybe women, maybe not children, but
I
we can do it in
oh,
front of
that's
women.
right. We have to make sure it's near women and or children.
Yeah. Well, if you're in Salt Lake, what you don't want to be caught doing is carrying a violin in a paper bag.
So that one too.
What does that mean? I mean, it's dangerous. I wouldn't carry a violin in a paper bag if you prize that possession.
I swear I saw a video about this or something on the internet last couple weeks, but yeah, I don't know. I've never carried a violin in public that I can recall.
I did. I
You
used to
did?
play. I used
You
to play violin
did you?
in elementary school, but I always used.
Elementary?
Yeah, yeah. I played
Like you
for. I
took
think
lessons or was it part of your class
it
thing?
was like they'd let you go to band or orchestra for an hour or so every couple days in elementary.
Hmm. We just did a
Uh,
recorder in
we
elementary. That
did
was it.
recorders as well, but I played saxophone for a year, and I think I played violin for 2 years, but I did not like it,
Hmm.
so I didn't stick with it.
Like my sister, I believe, played the violin in orchestra. So I could take her violin and play like very basic songs. So I've played a violin before, but that's far as my experience with violins goes.
Yeah, I like to. We should do some more research on that one. That one's really interesting. I'd like to know where that came from.
Yeah. Like I feel like somebody did a video about it recently on the TikTok, which is now gone.
Oh, TikTok's back.
Facebook. Is it back?
Yeah, it was only gone for like a day.
Oh, oh, did he extend it, Trump?
Yeah, he like posted It was like gone on Sunday or something. It was only gone for like, yeah, maybe not even a full day. And then when he like tweeted, they're like, okay, cool, we'll bring it back. But it could go away still. Who knows? We'll wait and see.
I don't really use TikTok, so I don't know. I don't know much about it,
Yeah, I don't use
or
it
nor
either.
have I been paying close attention. Whose turn is it?
Your turn.
Okay, so I did. Okay, this one's interesting. It says, "Don't ride a bike without hands. Riding a bicycle without both hands on the handlebars is against the law in Utah. No showing off your skills. Can
All
you
right.
ride your bike with no handlebars?"
Are you referencing the song or are you just asking? You know that song?
Both. Yeah, I can
All
ride
right.
my bike with no handlebars.
I used to know that whole song. Actually, I probably still do. I can do it. Yeah. I mean, anybody's worth their salt in bike riding can do it with no handlebars.
Right? I just don't
So does that
feel
mean
kids don't ride bikes
unicycles
like,
are illegal?
oh my goodness. I never thought about that. You know, that's one of my things I want to learn how to do is ride a unicycle.
Really?
I need to buy one. That might
Do
be
it.
my 2025 goal now to learn how to ride a unicycle. You ever tried?
No.
I've tried a couple times,
Is it pretty hard? Pretty scary?
but I think the last time I tried the tire was flat, so it was like hard to even
Mm,
bounce. So I'm like, maybe I should get one. But you just don't see unicycles much anymore.
no,
I
you
want to try.
don't. Only little chimps in
But
the
I do
circus
love
ride
riding my bike
unicycles.
without my hands. There's
Yeah, I do
something
too.
freeing about it, right?
Like
I
going
didn't
down a
know
big
how often I was
hill,
breaking the law.
lift your arms
Yeah,
up.
right?
Yeah.
I don't feel like kids ride bikes like they used to.
Well, maybe they will now because there's no more TikTok.
They got to do something.
They gotta do something.
But yeah,
It is illegal in a boxing match to bite, which
it's a good thing Mike Tyson didn't fight here.
maybe they created that law after they saw that match.
Maybe
Yeah, nobody knows the origin of this one, but definitely don't want to bite someone while boxing. Wow,
Well, good news is I don't think I'm gonna be boxing anytime soon.
neither am I.
But speaking of boxing, did you know it's illegal to harass ducks? Huh? Or other waterfowl in Utah? Let the dogs live in their peaceful lives.
And let them have the right of way on the highway too.
Yeah, we do love our ducks here, it sounds like, or
Apparently.
our waterfowls.
Yes. Yes, we do. Gotta respect the ducks. You ever been to a convenience store after dark?
Yes.
Well, you must present identification to enter a convenience store after dark in Kaysville.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. I wonder again, Kaysville people, all one of you or however many there are, let us know if this is a real thing in Kaysville.
Interesting. What is the that we ID anybody under the age of, is it 55
I don't know.
or 65? I don't know.
It's a good rule of thumb just to ID everyone, right?
Yeah, yeah. When we went to Wise Guys for our company party, and uh, my wife and I were running late and went to the hotel, then head over to the Wise Guys because we stayed at the hotel around the corner. And one of the agents from our, I think, Arizona office, who she's a grandma, she has like 3 or 4 grandkids. She even told me because one of them's named Nathan. But Wise Guys wouldn't let her in because forgot her ID. So she had to run back all the way back to the hotel to grab her ID. So I'm guessing she's at least 50,
That's a little excessive.
but it's just like, yeah, really? Like, or maybe she should be flattered that they're like, we need your ID. But I'm like, oh, I would think it's a safe bet to say that she's at least over 21.
They must really.
There must be some harsh penalties for that if you
Yeah,
don't
yeah. You
ID or
you don't want
something.
to. That's not one you want to mess with.
Right. But still, it just seems weird.
All right, what do you got?
Let's see. These ones kind of go hand in hand, so I'm going to do both. It's number one, illegal to fish with a crossbow,
Wow,
but I know they're starting to do crossbow carp tournaments in Utah Lake. So does that mean they have to get an exemption from the law, or how does that work?
interesting.
Because they're trying to thin the carp in Utah Lake, and it's
They
more like a sport.
maybe they suspended
So
it since it's necessary.
yeah, or do I need to go out there and place them all under citizen's arrest when
Yeah.
they do the tournaments?
Yes, you should. Absolutely, you should.
And speaking of fishing, using dynamite to catch fish is prohibited as well. Dag
Mm,
nabbit. Have you ever seen Crocodile Dundee too?
I have. It's been a long time, but I have seen
Okay, that's how the movie starts out with him like in the I think it's the Hudson Bay or something like that, and he
it.
throws dynamite in to,
Catch
and it's
some fish.
hilarious because like they come, the Coast Guard comes, and then there's like the helicopter, and they're like, "Ah, Mick, should have known it was you," and like no big deal that he's blown up explosives in New York. Now you can't even say explosive in New York without getting arrested.
Really?
Feel like it, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Let's talk about conspiracy theories for a minute. I'm just kidding.
Going hand in hand with that, I think it kind of was already touched on, but no detonating nuclear weapons in Utah. But
That's a
don't
good
they do
one.
that? And maybe they're not nuclear, but they do the Army Depot, they do weapons testing, but no nuclear weapons. But going along with that, if you happen to have some extra gunpowder handy because you can't use it to detonate or catch fish, you also can't use it to remedy your headaches.
Ugh.
That's weird. I guess it says that pharmacists used to prescribe gunpowder to cure headaches in Utah.
Okay, these ones are pretty funny. Sorry to cut you off, but
No, go ahead.
how many more do you have, do you think?
I've got six more.
Wow. I just pulled up a list of like 10 more, but let's do the funny ones. No, no throwing rocks at public transportation,
What?
right?
That's crazy.
Uh, It
All right,
says,
rap.
why was this necessary to specify?
Yeah. All right, should we rapid fire? In the event of beaver dams, you have recourse. You have authorization from the Wildlife Board to trap or kill a beaver if said beaver is doing damage to or a menace to
Personal
private
property,
property. So that
private
makes
property. Yeah.
sense.
Okay. You know, the beavers.
Don't leave it to the beavers.
No artificial snow in public. In certain areas of Utah, creating artificial snow in public places without permission is prohibited. So we
Really?
talked about a few months ago, the whole urban legend of them putting, maybe that's why it came to
Oh,
be.
yeah, it probably is. When at public performances, keep your hat low. In 1898, it was a misdemeanor to wear a hat that was too high inside a theater.
Interesting. Oh, that makes sense. Don't want to
I mean, you don't want to
block the view.
no top hats in the Utah theaters.
Did you know that you're liable for the ice that falls from your roof? Speaking of cold weather.
Really?
Yeah. So if you cause damage or injury, it's on you.
At least in New Jersey, you're liable for if you don't clean your car off all the way and there's stuff flying off and causes some kind of incident. That should be a
Yeah, I
law
think they showed
here.
on the news the other day somebody was driving and a block of ice fell off the roof when they're crossing
Is that
on
a law
the,
here?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, definitely should be. Don't put torpedoes on railroad tracks.
Ooh, better stop that right away.
Yeah.
Didn't know. All right, here's a fun one. Women driving.
Okay, elaborate.
It says this one's more of a myth, but worth mentioning because it's often cited in jest. There's a rumor that women in Utah can't drive without their husband waving a flag ahead of them.
Oh no.
Uh, okay. It says this isn't true, but it's a funny urban legend tied to outdated ideas about women drivers.
Same probably for the men being liable for women committing crimes in
Yeah,
front of
that's
them.
why. Yeah, yeah.
Well, think again before playing your fife in Salt Lake to advertise an auction. Wonder if that includes recorders. Is a recorder a fife?
Maybe.
Salt Lake once outlawed auctioneers from using immoral or indecent language in crying their cells and the ringing of bells, blowing of whistles, drum or fife or other musical instrument or noise-making means of attracting attention of passerby.
They also can't misinform auctioneers. There must have been a lot of problems with auctions way back when.
We need more auctions.
And did you know that in some towns in Utah still res still have strict laws about public dancing?
Oh, I was just looking at the same one.
Often required special permits until you cut loose, foot loose.
Yeah, this was the perfect place to film that one. Also, respect your librarians on threat of detainment.
Mm.
Though sweet and friendly, librarians are far from helpless when it comes to reclaiming stolen library books. Any employee of the library has a probable cause to believe that a person has committed library theft, may detain the person on or off the premises of a library. On or off. That's funny.
Like I said before, they probably have these laws because something happened and they needed to put it in the books. And you brought this up earlier about boxing matches, but apparently in some cities, like Salt Lake City, it's illegal to bite someone.
Hmm. Again,
So
seems like common sense. Don't bite
how
people.
old do you have to be? Because I mean, I'm pretty
I
sure your
got bit
toddler
in
just bit
sixth grade.
somebody.
A kid bit me
Did
during
you?
basketball. Yeah.
During basketball?
Hmm.
Weird.
This is my last one. You have the right to take a skunk if you want. Does that take it? Does that mean you can like marry it?
Maybe.
Or you can have it as a pet? Or you can kill it? I don't know. That one's interesting.
Yeah, this one I thought I forgot about this one when I looked up earlier today. It's just interesting. But unlike some states, Utah does not allow someone to stand in as a proxy for you in a marriage ceremony. You have to show up in person and say, I do.
Hmm.
Don't ride your horse while you're drunk. Handle your snakes responsibly. If you're hosting a reptile show in Utah, be careful. Letting a snake loose during the event could land you in trouble. You've already said it. No throwing missiles. I love how they say throwing. Who the heck is throwing missiles?
Hurling. No
This one
hurling
says
missiles.
throwing. It's illegal to throw a missile. This is where the snowball one comes from.
Hmm. So
Some
is that
cities, it's illegal to sell horseradish on
really?
Sundays. What? You can't catch a fish with your bare hands? Oop, I've broken that law.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I bet you there's probably hundreds and hundreds of these crazy laws on the books.
Yeah, we have to dig through it.
So how many of us are basically criminals because we've probably broken some laws we didn't know were breaking?
You just didn't know. It's just crazy how many there are, and there's comprehensive lists of all this stuff on each state, but it's fun to know which ones are applicable to our state. A lot of them seem to be influenced by the predominant religion here, but some are, yeah, kind of a weird. Where did that come from, you
Where
know?
did it come from? Yeah. And who was breaking these laws?
But let us know which laws you have broken. Even if you've stolen library books, we are not librarians, so we cannot detain you. But let us know which ones you unknowingly or knowingly broke. And if we missed any key dumb laws, also let us know.
Stop throwing missiles.
Thank you for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
And these were some weird laws we just talked about.